Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about the tragic tale of Jimmy Zhong, rich but alone. So Jimmy is responsible for one of the largest crypto heists in history. He stole 50,000 Bitcoin, which at the time was only about $600,000, but it skyrocketed as the price of Bitcoin skyrocketed to over $3.4 billion with a B, which effectively is infinite money. If you guys don't know numbers or math, 3.4 billion, you could buy multiple mansions and supercars and small businesses every single day for the rest of your life and never run out of money. So we're going to talk about the whole story, and then I'm going to talk about where I think Jimmy went wrong and a lot of pitfalls that we can avoid because despite all his wealth, he was asked in interviews by police officers and the FBI and journalists, reporters, and the media. So you stole all this money. You had unlimited money. You were throwing, private parties, yachts, bottle service at nightclubs, all this stuff, flying friends out on private jets. Did it work? Did you get all the women and all the stuff you wanted? And he said in a sad and defeated tone, nope, I didn't, except for one time when I paid for it. So poor Jimmy. Let's talk about Jimmy's story from beginning to end. So I have some notes here. Jimmy's childhood was marked by social awkwardness and isolation. Growing up, he was the quintessential outsider, shy, insecure, and more comfortable with computers than people. I think a lot of us can relate to this. I talked about video games, especially competitive gaming, Counter-Strike, first-person shooters, Super Smash Brothers. Very, very bad, very, very damaging. If you can keep it in moderation, play out only on Sundays, maybe, that's somewhat acceptable, but building up your avatar in the digital world is only going to take away time you can be building up your real avatar in real life. So in 2012, Jimmy discovered a vulnerability on the Silk Road, a dark web marketplace notorious for illegal trade. So yeah, that website, you could buy all types of drugs, you could buy people's credit card information, all types of, illegal things like that. And he discovered a flaw or a vulnerability. I don't remember the exact details, but it's something like this. Say you had 10 Bitcoin stored in a Bitcoin wallet controlled by the Silk Road servers. And you would say, I want to, withdraw my 10 Bitcoin. You could withdraw your 10 Bitcoin. But if you double clicked it really quickly, you could withdraw double that. It would give you your 10 Bitcoin plus another Bitcoin just by clicking it really quickly. I don't know if you wrote a script to click it in a number of milliseconds or microseconds, but either way, he ended up stealing 50,000 Bitcoin, and the owner of the site, a guy named Ross Ulrich, I think is how you pronounce his last name, he got caught. He's in jail for life with zero possibility of parole. He will die in prison. Caught the vulnerability, saw this missing Bitcoin, and actually messaged Jimmy and thanked him for pointing out the vulnerability. So I guess he took it pretty well. And it says here, with his newfound wealth, Zhong indulged in a life of luxury. He bought expensive properties, high-end cars, and frequently stayed at the most luxurious hotels, blah, 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 blah. And like I was saying earlier, he spent a lot of money on his social life, trying to win friends, trying to buy friends with his money, which, as anybody with a brain knows, is the worst possible thing to base social relationships on. It even says he once flew a group of friends on a private jet to attend a football game and gave each friend $10,000 for a shopping spree in Beverly Hills. However, despite his extravagant gestures, relationships remained shallow and unfulfilling. Like I said earlier, when asked, did you get any girls? He said nope. He didn't get laid a single time except for one time when he paid for it. Investigators described his friendships as very casual, plastic, not caring. And he clung to the belief, says Jimmy clung to the belief that his wealth could buy him love and friendship that he so desperately craved. He was known for throwing lavish parties, hiring private jets, and spending exorbitantly high amounts on nights out, all in the hope of forming meaningful connections. And he would quite often get upset if people would ever point out this fact that he was trying to buy his friends. What can I say about this? I mean, obviously. I'm going to talk about where Jimmy went wrong in a second, but let's just finish the story. So in 2019, his own stupidity and his own ego, his own butthurt ego, led to his downfall, led to him losing all of his wealth, every last penny of his $3.4 billion, and doing a year plus 1 day in prison. So here's what happened. Jimmy had I believe he had in cash a suitcase of over $1 million stashed in his Georgia home. for the purposes of trying to impress potential romantic partners, which, oh my God, where to even get started on how wrong and stupid that is. The briefcase of money wasn't stolen, but somebody did break into his home, one of his friends, because it's always somebody, if somebody does a home invasion on you and steals your stuff, 99% of the time it's somebody that you know. So one of his fake friends broke in and they stole a flash drive or a hard drive, something like that, storing over, I think it was 400,000 to 500,000 Bitcoin. Now, for a guy worth $3.4 billion, this is actually nothing. This is equivalent to someone stealing 50 cents from you. He still has unlimited wealth. He should have let it go. But his butthurt ego was so butthurt, he was so upset by it that one of his friends, one of his acquaintances, broke in his house and stole money. He was hoping that the police would find a fingerprint or a hair follicle or something of this said person and be able to prove that they stole the money, track them down, and this person would go to jail for grand theft, and then Jimmy could have the last laugh. What he should have done is said, damn, okay, all my friendships are plastic. Nobody actually really likes me. They're actually, my friends are breaking into my house and know exactly where to go in my house, because I'm sure he didn't have the flash drive just like sitting, out somewhere. They came in, nothing's disturbed. There's no, big search of everything. It's not random. Somebody knows exactly where to go to just pluck this little hard drive and take the money out. And Jimmy wanted revenge so badly that he called the police. And of course, the police go, cool, right? So they jacked you for these, 300,000, 200, whatever, $500,000 in Bitcoin. So like, what else you got? How much more do you got? Was this all? How did you get that in the first place? Who are you? How did you get such, amazing wealth? It led to a full-on investigation by the FBI, and it says in 2021, a search of Zhong's home led to the recovery of over 50,000 Bitcoins, making it one of the largest cryptocurrency seizures in U.S. history. Zhong was convicted of wire fraud and sentenced to just over a year in prison. It was a year plus a day. And then just some last minute stuff I wrote down. Despite his immense failures, Zhong's life was marked by despite his immense fortune, Zhong's life was marked by profound loneliness and a lack of genuine human connection. His attempts to buy love and friendship were only highlighted by the emptiness of his existence. And tragically, I heard this, I'm not sure if this is still accurate up until today, but after he got out of prison, he's now working as an Uber and Lyft driver and can barely even pay his rent. So quite a downfall from a guy who was giving $10,000 to friends to go on a Beverly Hills shopping spree, private jets, mansions, being, at a $3.4 million net worth, effectively having unlimited money, effectively being one of the richest men on the planet to have that sitting there in like liquid disposable assets. So let's talk about where Jimmy went wrong. I'm going to make this very, very quick because I've talked about this a lot on my channels. Jimmy was not pragmatic about his social skills. And this is something that I want to really, really impress. This is something that I even realized about myself. So once upon a time, I was living in nightclubs, going out 7 nights a week, sober, picking up women, doing what's called cold approach pickup. I was close friends with RSD Tyler, aka Owen Cook, Todd V dating, and me and my friends we were kind of addicted to it. To be honest, it kind of came like a little bit of a vice, but we'd go out to social clubs, pump our states, get in conversations, work on our social skills, build our confidence, and talk to people. I mean, it was fun. Like, you never knew what could happen. You could get a jealous guy, you steal a guy's girlfriend, or you flirt with the wrong girl at the table. They want to get in a fight with you. I had one guy tap me on the shoulder one time. I turned around, boom, punched me in the face, ran away, broke my nose, bled everywhere, chased after the guy. Actually sued that guy and got $10,000. And to this day, it's still a big mystery. But point being, you could pull girls and have a threesome. You could be kissing some girl all night, say one little wrong thing and have her, storm off. It was just very, very fun. And I don't recommend that. Okay, I do not recommend that. But what it did give me was this sort of infallible confidence, not only around women, but around people in general. And I've told this story before, but so I'll make it really, really quick. The way I met Fresh, Walter Weeks, aka Fresh Prince CEO, aka one half of the Fresh and Fit podcast, the largest men's podcast in the world, before the fame, before anything like that, was just by being a social guy. All the stuff that I recommend to you in this channel, like being pragmatic about making friends and working on your social skills, because your social skills, they ain't it, right? People know that they got to work on their body. They know they got to lose weight. They know they got to build muscle. They know they get their finances straight, but nobody looks internally about building your social skills. And one of the benefits of having good social skills is you see a cool, well-dressed black guy out on this outdoor mall called Lincoln Road in Miami, and you say, yo, man, I know what you're doing. He goes, huh, what? Yeah, man, I'm over here chasing the women down, but you got the girls coming to you with this, cute dog. You got a better strategy. Do you mind can I stand by you for a second? And he starts laughing. We're like, oh, girls keep coming over to us. I'm being a good wingman. Girls come over to pet the dog, and we start gaming the girls together. Total stranger. First time I met this guy, I say, hey, you seem like a cool guy. I'm new here in Miami. Let me get your number. We'll go hang out, pick up some girls, grab a drink sometime. Boom. Got his number. We bonded greatly over playing Super Smash Brothers over the pandemic because I talked about how video games are bad, but there was literally nothing else to do during the pandemic. So we played a lot of Super Smash Brothers online and in person, the two of us. And I never would have been able to make that amazing friendship. And, the channel's growing on my own. I'm putting out a video a day now. I think I've reached, I'm like day 20 of putting out a video every day. I'll see how long if I get hit 60, 70, 80, 90 days of putting out a video every day. But being on Fresh and Fit, it catapulted my success. And you shouldn't build friendships just with people who you think can catapult your success. Again, mind you, I made friends with Walter way before the Fresh and Fit podcast even started. So it wasn't like a thing or whatever. So where Jimmy went wrong and where I even went wrong is by neglecting this part of my life. I got into this monk mode entrepreneurial trap. Terrible, 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 terrible idea. Screw you, Gary Vaynerchuk, whoever talking about this monk mode hustle culture is destroying people. It's destroying their social skills. Unlike what Jimmy did, you need to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, approach it. The thing about this, right? If you get any type of success from cold approaching a group of women that aren't completely unattractive, even average women or better, and you can get into a social situation where you're talking, they're laughing at your jokes, they're listening to what you have to say, they're hanging on every word on your story. You have the attention of the group there. They're not interrupting you. You've established the hook point, which means you approach this group of women at a bar, nightclub, whatever, or anywhere, or a one-on-one girl at the grocery store, and you've reached the point where they would prefer that you would stay and talk to them rather than that you would, buzz off and leave them alone, reaching the hook point. That is the ultimate validation. Once you can do that on a consistent basis, you have rock solid social skills because women, they have zero time for weird, creepy guys with a bad vibe. So be pragmatic about your social skills. I've talked about this many, many times before, so I'll make it quick. Make a WhatsApp group with your friends right now and start planning social stuff. It could be just going to a restaurant. It could be taking a quick trip. It could be taking a long trip. It could be getting them to decide to be passport bros like you and move to another country and start dating more feminine, beautiful women together. It could be throwing an event with them. It could be going to the shooting range, all types of stuff. But just don't get in this trap, especially if you're an entrepreneur, of you live in your 14, 15, 16-story shoebox. You eat, sleep, shit, repeat in your little shoebox, and then you try to emerge from your cave like the golem and hello girls, and claw some girls. It's not going to work. Part of the reason why I have these great day game vlogs, you can go, there's a vlog that I did called Picking Up Women, picking up beautiful Brazilian girls at the shopping mall in Manaus, Brazil, is because I'm shooting the shit with my good friend Austin. We're outgoing. We're in a flow state outside of our heads. We're just completely present. We're not overthinking. And then I can just go effortlessly and talk to women. Even when I'm alone now, because I've built up my social skills. And again, I have times where I'm not always social and outgoing. I have my awkward moments. I'm not infallible. And a lot of you guys in my comments, think you're infallible. Again, there's certain things in the male ego. None of us would like to admit that we don't know how to fight. Most of you guys watching this video, I'm sorry to say, you don't know how to fight and you would get your ass kicked. Most of you guys watching this video think you're amazing in bed. You're probably just very, very average in bed. You're probably doing the same moves that, other guys are doing. And number 3, you probably have very, very average social skills. One thing that I do for my clients is we build automated systems using Instagram, dating apps, all forms of online, building really high status, fun, interesting social media profiles. And then we leverage other people's time. We get them an online dating virtual assistant to set up a conveyor belt, an automated system where they're just meeting tons of women. It happens in their sleep. These people are finding down the women, messaging them, filtering them oh, do you speak English or do you have this quality about you? Blah, blah, blah. And even though we can get a lot of dates for these guys, I say, listen, if you don't have your masculine frame figured out, if you don't have your social skills, your confidence figured out, no matter how many dates we can get you, it's just not gonna bode well for you. So be pragmatic about this stuff. Like I said, make that WhatsApp group. Go out with your friends a lot. Don't do this monk mode retarded nonsense. And most of all, cold approach women. Talk to women. Even if it's all, okay, dates, that's not exactly a cold approach. It's not quite as effective, but it's almost as good. Start going on a lot of dates. I get dating fatigue, okay? But, it's cool. You go on dates, whether they go badly, or you build your social skills, you build your charisma, you build your confidence, your ability to connect with people. And that is where poor Jimmy Zhong had gone wrong. If he did have the social skills, I don't know if he ever would have been caught. He had that big ego, that big, oh, they stole from me and I need to call the cops and get he could have just handled it like, I don't want to say it on YouTube, but he had the money to fix the problems on the streets, if you know what I mean. If you really wanted, revenge on this person, you didn't have to get the cops involved. So that's where Jimmy went wrong. That's where I don't want to see you guys go wrong. Be pragmatic, talk to people, shoot the shit with the taxi driver, the Uber driver, talk to women, make a WhatsApp group, be a leader of your friends, plan social activities. Just plan social activities and your relationships will be a lot better. You'll build more confidence. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel. Don't be a ninja watcher. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you want my free courses, go to my Instagram, RedbeardRants1. I give all free courses about how to just meet women and talk about, a lot of the stuff that we talked about. But that's it, boys. End of the video. Peace out.